From the weirdest and most dangerous turtle in the world to the lesser known tree crocodile, here are 10 of the most dangerous reptiles ever. Number 10. Mata turtle. The mata turtle is probably the weirdest turtle in the world. This thing comes from deep in the Amazon basin of South America, as well as the Orinoco basin, and it is an extremely dangerous creature. Don't let its bizarre appearance fool you. It has a leaf-shaped head and a flat shell, and it's very good at blending into the foliage that rests at the bottom of shallow streams, but it is an absolute killing machine. The mata turtle can grow to be roughly 20 inches in length, and they have an extra long neck that they use for reaching out and sucking up fish whenever they pass by. This is called suction feeding, and the mata turtle does this because it can't physically chew. It simply vacuums its prey into its mouth and then swallows them whole. So, maybe this turtle isn't that dangerous to humans, but it is still a menace to fish and other wildlife who make use of the streams and currents in South American jungles. Number 9. Komodo Dragon. Let's move on to something a little more threatening. The Komodo Dragon is the biggest and meanest dragon that we currently have on our planet. These things are huge, they have horrible attitudes, and they are basically mini Godzilla babies that are not afraid to attack humans. The best example of this comes from a 2017 report from the BBC when a tourist was attacked by a Komodo dragon whilst visiting Indonesia. Park rangers at the time said that the incident was the first to have happened in the last 5 years. Imagine being the only moron to get attacked by a Komodo dragon in 5 years. How embarrassing. Out of all the lizards in the world, Komodo dragons are the biggest, and they have extremely venomous bites. We used to think that they were venomous because of their saliva, but it turns out they have a venom gland in their mouth like the Gila monster. The fellow who was bitten was a 50-year-old guy from Singapore who had allegedly ignored the warnings about not getting too close to the dragons to take photographs. He was bitten on the leg while trying to take a picture and had to be rushed by a military speedboat to the nearest medical centre. This is less a story about a dangerous reptile and more a story about more people getting injured trying to take risky photographs for social media. It's basically a big +1 for evolution. Would you get close to a Komodo dragon, or any of these reptiles? Let me know in the comments below, and be sure to subscribe if you're new here. We have lots more videos coming up. Number 8. King Cobra. King cobras are ridiculously dangerous. There are some lizards on this list because lizards are cool and everyone likes talking about them, but even the mighty Komodo dragon has nothing on a king cobra. These snakes are feared for a very good reason. They have enough poison in their fangs to give you a fatal bite. One quick chomp from a king cobra will give you serious pain, problems with your vision, difficulty swallowing or speaking, respiratory failure, vomiting, horrendous pain in your abdomen, and even necrosis. The quickest you will die, according to the University of Michigan, is just 30 minutes. This makes the king cobra perhaps the worst pet on the planet. You can identify a king cobra easily enough because of its ridiculously huge size. These cobras can grow to be almost 20 feet in length. When they rise in the air to bite, you can immediately see the wide hood that gives the cobra its trademark look. Oh yeah, and there are actually many different kinds of cobras besides just the king cobra. For example, there is a spitting cobra that grows to be 9 feet and can spit venom in your face. Number 7. Saltwater Crocodile. The saltwater crocodile is definitely a reptile you don't want to mess with. In fact, staring directly into the jaws of a crocodile would probably be the last thing you ever saw. Their powerful jaws are able to snap your bones like twigs. For many people, the possibility of being savaged by a crocodile is just part of daily life. However, crocodiles don't set out to hunt people specifically. The problem with crocodiles is that according to the BBC, anything that moves within close proximity to a crocodile is fair game. Not only do they hunt in the water, but they will wander out on land looking for food. If you happen to be a human close to a hungry crocodile, you are going to be seen as dinner. Just in Africa alone, there are a few hundred crocodile attacks on people every year. Of course, most of these take place in small communities and are not typically reported. You are unlikely to be attacked by a crocodile in the middle of a busy street. Between 1/3 and 1/2 of all these attacks proved fatal. And to be honest, you would probably be better off fighting a shark. Number 6. Alligator snapping turtle. When it comes to your fingers, the alligator snapping turtle is probably the most dangerous reptile. These turtles can't kill you, but if you are silly enough to try and pick one up, it could very well bite off your nose or bite off your finger. These reptiles are extremely large, with the largest one on record being a resident of the Shed Aquarium in Chicago and weighing nearly 250 pounds. According to Mental Floss, the biggest ever reported was 403 pounds and found in Kansas, but it was never properly confirmed. Alligator snapping turtles don't like people. They make it their business to stay clear of humans. The biggest problems arise on land when silly people try to snap photographs with them or pick them up and take them home. In 2014, a study discovered that there are in fact 3 different species of alligator snapping turtles, and each one of them has the power to bite off your nose. One more interesting fact is that these turtles have a special appendage inside their mouths that kind of looks like a pink worm, and they use it to attract fish directly into their jaws. Talk about the laziest hunting method ever. They literally draw their food directly into their faces. Number 5. Gila monster. The Gila monster is definitely not as threatening as the Komodo Dragon or the Saltwater Crocodile, but it is still a poisonous monster that is best avoided. In fact, there are 2 types of venomous lizards in North America, the Gila monster and the Mexican bearded lizard. Both of these reptiles have thick bodies, short and stubby limbs, and hang out in the deserts of the United States and Mexico. The Gila monster in particular is very attractive. It's quite colourful, but unfortunately they have a really bad attitude. They won't typically bite unless they are handled, but if you're stubborn enough to play with one, you could be in for a pretty miserable day. The Gila lizard bites with incredible strength, and once it clamps down on your limbs, it doesn't let go. Instead, the lizard will only bite harder, ripping apart all of your tissue while the toxins in its saliva drip into your wound. The most general symptoms of being bitten by a Gila monster include unstoppable sweating, a hard time breathing, severe nausea and vomiting, and dizziness. You probably won't die, but you might have an unfortunate allergic reaction which could spell disaster. Number 4. Black Mamba. The black mamba is one of the most dangerous reptiles in the world, and by many experts is considered to be the world's deadliest snake. They are found only in Africa and are luckily very shy creatures. They never seek out human interaction, making them less likely to bite you. But if you do get bit, their venom is 100% lethal. What's really interesting about the black mamba is that they are not actually black. These snakes are typically dark brown, with the only black parts being the inside of their mouths. They are believed to cause the most snake-related deaths in all of southern Africa, with the most recent case being a South African judge who got bit by one and then died while travelling to Zambia. Unfortunately, the data for exactly how many attacks there are each year is limited, and this is mostly because the majority of deaths occur in rural parts of Africa where there is not much in terms of health infrastructure. The black mamba itself is born with about 2 drops of venom in each fang, but by the time it becomes an adult, it will have between 12 and 20 drops in each fang. How much does it take to kill a human? The answer is only 2 drops of venom. That means it delivers far more venom into your system than is needed to kill you, which is one of the reasons it is so dangerous. Number 3. Black Caiman. The black caiman is kind of like a crocodile and kind of like an alligator. Well, it's more like an alligator. It's a unique animal that lives in the Amazon rainforest and is extremely elusive. Of course, this reptile is carnivorous, and it's not something you would want to mess with. There are 6 distinct species of the caiman, with the largest being the black caiman. This reptile can grow to be roughly 15 feet long and is identifiable by its dark black colour. It's native only to Central and South America and is way bigger than any alligators anywhere else in the world. They are fantastic swimmers, they are extremely sneaky, and the only natural predators they have in the wild are anacondas. That's not even really fair, as anacondas are really at the top of the food chain globally. Nobody messes with the anaconda. The only time a black caiman can be hunted is when it's a baby. Luckily, each female will lay up to 40 eggs at a time, so even if some are eaten, there are at least a few that will grow to be enormous enough that they could eat you for dinner. Number 2. Green anaconda. The king cobra may be the longest venomous snake in the world, but it really doesn't even compare to the glorious green anaconda. Green anacondas are the largest snakes on the planet without dispute. These things are massive. And yes, they can eat humans. It's been known to happen. One of the best tips to adhere to when travelling in the Amazon jungle is to never stand by yourself at the side of a river, as an anaconda can come from nowhere and eat you whole without a second thought. It's always recommended to stand with another person so you look too big to eat. Wherever you go near a big river in the jungle, you can be pretty certain there's an anaconda watching you. While we all know these snakes are extremely dangerous, what you might not know is that anacondas have invaded the United States of America. Thanks to people collecting these snakes as pets and then letting them loose, as well as the illegal animal trade, they have begun to thrive in the Florida Everglades. So, you might not need to go very far to find one. Number 1. Tree crocodile. There is a reptile known as the tree crocodile, and it is an absolute menace. It's more commonly known as the crocodile monitor, and it's recognised as being one of the longest lizards on Earth. It has an extremely long head and neck, a very thick tail that is twice longer than its body, and it's recognisable because of its yellow and green dots. It has super strong claws and ultra sharp teeth. These lizards can weigh up to 200 pounds, and you typically find them hanging out in the trees. It's basically like a miniature crocodile that can leap on you from an overhead branch. I mean, it's pretty unlikely that one would be so inclined to jump at you from the air, but I'm just saying, it could happen. Crocodile monitors use their sturdy tails for balance, kind of like monkeys while they climb through the trees, and they are actually the only other reptile other than snakes that have forked tongues. The good news is that tree crocodiles don't really pose a threat to humans. Still, they are very dangerous to other animals in the forest. Also, according to SeaWorld, they only live in Papua New Guinea, so you'll probably never meet one in your lifetime. Which of these reptiles terrifies you the most? Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and thanks for watching. If you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe. See you again soon for another fun video.